Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Thomas Taylor III. Hope everybody's well out there. Man, right before I was going to go live, man, you guys, just want to share with you, I got a call from my uncle, Mr. Ed Calderon, out there in Long Island, wishing me a happy Father's Day, as well as giving me a shot of inspiration, man. So that was cool. Hey, love you, Unc. So, hey, today is Sunday, you guys. Wow, we almost on the backside of this month already. First, I want to say for all those who celebrated Juneteenth yesterday, happy Juneteenth. It was an awesome opportunity to get out there and celebrate and fellowship. I was actually in East Point yesterday, kind of down East Atlanta, in a parade. Even though out here in Atlanta, it rained all day, you guys. But we was out there with our umbrellas, just like a whole lot of other people, still out there celebrating Juneteenth. I'm from New York, so, I've been celebrating Juneteenth for 30 plus years out in Long Island, Hempstead. Myself and my partners, we used to go out there and sell T-shirts out there at all these different Juneteenth events. But it's also great to see a nation actually celebrating Juneteenth and then actually getting a federal holiday recognizing what actually happened. And believe it or not, you guys, to this day, a lot of people are even unaware that Juneteenth even happened. You know what I mean? But, that's just the way it is, you guys. So again, happy Juneteenth for all those that was out there yesterday. So today's Father's Day. So I want to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there who made that decision, you guys. A lot of people ask me, Thomas, how did you become the father that you are? I said, well, it's simple. Not easy. It was simple. I simply made a decision, you guys. I made a decision to be, I made a decision to be the father that I wish I had. Yep, I'm going to say it again. I made that decision to be the father that I never had, so my children could never experience the pain and heartbreak that I felt, you guys. Now, it wasn't easy, right? Because once you make that decision, now you have to go ahead and stand there and make those things come to fruition, right? But I also want to say thank you to all the women out there. I was raised by a single woman, right? So I want to say thank you to the women out there who actually stand in the gap day after day, year after year, decade after decade, to raise those young children, to raise those boys and girls to be productive citizens in society when their father made a different decision. He made a different choice, you guys. So again, personally, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you to the single women out there, you guys, that's holding it down for those out there, fathers who fathered these children, but just made a different decision to cut out. Because when you start to do the facts and the research, you guys, it's a lot of single women out there who are holding it down, you guys. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you for standing in the gap, you guys. So in that vein, I want to talk about a few things that we have to deal with in terms of fatherhood. And I call them the 3 L's, you guys, right? So one of those is love. The other one is listening. And then the other one is leading. That's love, listening, and leading. Why do I want to talk about those things, you guys? Because I once read that he so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, you guys. So when you understand love, love is an action word, right? It's not just lip service. It's an action word, right? So for the young children out there that's growing up, right, when their fathers made a different decision or their fathers are in and out of their lives, right? What do they want? If you ask them, they want to be loved, you guys. They don't want all of those fancy gifts, all that's nice, but that doesn't substitute love, because love is an action word. Like I said, it's an action word, right? It's not lip service, you guys. I love you, but then there's no action behind it, you guys, right? So in terms of being in a position where you have young children actually looking and hoping for that love, you guys, it's very, very important to be physically present to demonstrate what that love looks like, you guys, because that's very important as a father, as you standing there representing what love looks like. So for your daughters and to your daughters, right, you should be their first love, right, as a father, right? You should be the one to tell them that to help them understand, right, to edify them, right, that you're beautiful, you're articulate, you can be educated if you want to, right? You can actually do anything that you want to, anything that you put your mind to, right? So that father is the first one that should edify that young lady. As for the young man, right? Our young boys, they watch us. They look at us as that example on how to be a man, you guys. So that's very important to be able to demonstrate that love, right? When you talk about love, they should look at you and say, yep, my daddy loves me, right? Not because he told me he loves me, but because he showed me that he loves me, right? The second one is listening, right? Do you have that tentative ear, you guys, to listen, right? Now, hey, sometimes I'm guilty of it. You know, my wife says that I don't listen. Well, you know, whose significant other don't say that about them? We don't listen. You know what I mean? So again, but sometimes we just got to slow down and actually listen to what's being said. And sometimes, you guys, it's nonverbal communication, especially if you got kids. You really gotta figure them out, right? Because sometimes they'll act a certain way, and that's how they communicate, right? So are you listening, right? So one thing that I do, and I share with you guys in my relationship is, and I challenge the men out there, is to ask your significant other, how are you doing, right? Because just in case you're not hearing what they're telling you, because I promise you they're trying to tell you in probably a couple of different languages, but they're trying to share with you what they want you to know. Just ask the question, how am I doing, babe? And I promise you, right hand of God, I promise you they will let you know. Now, you got to be ready for that. And some of us are not ready for that, right? And when they tell you how you are actually doing, it's not an opportunity for you to debate and go ahead and give your rebuttal. Like, nah, that ain't me. That ain't what I do. You looking at me wrong. No, right? It's actually to listen, right? Just keep your mouth shut and listen and absorb it. Why? Because you can make corrections. You can make adjustments, right? Because if you don't really understand how your significant other sees you and views you, hey man, you think you the best thing since sliced bread. You good. Nah, I'm Gucci. I'm good. All the while, man, the wheels are falling off the track. You going in the wrong direction, you guys. So again, the first one was love. And the second one was listening. Having an attentive ear to actually hear what's going on with your children, what's going on with your wife, possibly your in-laws, if they're a part of the family as well. Why? And it leads me to my last one, which is leading. That's a big one, you guys. That's a heavy load, you guys, right? I was talking to my brother, Charles Ward, yesterday, and we just talking about how, as men, sometimes, you know, we feel we don't get the respect that we deserve, right? It's just real talk, you guys. Well, in leadership, sometimes that's going to happen. Why? Because everybody's not going to see it the way you see it, you guys. So one thing about leadership is, especially if you marry or have a significant other, you guys, and I said this analogy before, right? So leadership is like a boat in the water, you guys, right? So like a sailboat. If you do not set the sail of a sailboat, that sailboat will go in whatever direction the wind blows, you guys. I'm going to say it again. That sailboat, if you don't set the sail, will go in any direction that the wind blows. So as leaders, as men, leaders in your household, and women who are single mothers leading, right? What direction are you taking your family, right? So now if you married and if you have children on Father's Day, and if you're not leading, I promise you, your wife will make sure that those cubs are taken care of, you guys. So when it comes to leadership, right, we have to, number one, communicate, okay, this is where we're going, you guys. We have to articulate, this is the direction that I feel we need to go in, and then get our significant others buy-in, right? If not, you guys, what happens is you start clashing and it becomes opposing, right? It's almost like you pulling and dragging versus leading, right? So leading is where everybody's on the same page, going in the same direction, you guys. But that comes from the leader. And if you're not actually articulating the direction in terms of where you're going, so let's say you're working on becoming financially free, right? Okay, look, babe, these are the credit cards. Boom, these are the ones that we're going to pay off. And this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do a little snowball. Boom, we're going to take a Dave Ramsey's class. Boom, we're going to go ahead and learn a little bit more about financial freedom. And then this is how we're going to get there, you guys. When they hear the plan, it's easier for them to buy in to the actual plan in terms of where we're going. So when it comes to leadership, right, I'm talking about leadership as a father, as a husband, right, as a mentor, as a protector, as a provider, right? Like I can go on and on. So there's multiple facets of this, you guys. But at the end of the day, if the individual that you're with understands where you're going, it's easier to get there, you guys, right? So when you understand leadership, right, leadership has to be paramount, especially with your children. Why? Right? Because we all see different children out there acting out different ways. And what do we say? It starts in the home, right? Well, you guys, if there's no leadership in the household, what's going to happen, you guys? Your children are going to look for that leadership outside the household in the form of gangs, right? In all these different forms. But they're going to look for that love, right? And they're going to be listening to somebody else besides you. And then they're also, unfortunately, going to be in a position where whoever they're listening to is going to be leading, you guys. So why not let that be you? I know sometimes it gets tough, you guys. I understand it gets tough. But it's the job that we were designed to do as men, right? Why? When you understand women were designed to carry children, right? Lord knows he couldn't have gave that to us, you guys. He knows. Now, we carry the seed. Don't get me wrong. We carry the seed. But after we deliver the seed, that's it. We done, because he knows. And he knew we weren't built. We were not built to go ahead and carry that baby to fruition and deliver that baby, you guys. Nah, we can't tolerate pain that much. Nah, we not built for that, right? So now, when you're talking about men and leadership, that's what he gave us, you guys, right? That's innate. That's inside of us, right? Now, sometimes as men, we don't exercise that leadership as we should, right? Okay, cool. I get it. But you guys, if you look at what's going on around you, even in your own community, you know what you see? Yep, a lack of leadership. Why? Right? Because you really have to be vested. You really have to be vested in understanding sometimes you're going to be in a position where everybody's not going to agree with you, right? And sometimes, you guys, that's when people tap out. Because if they feel that if they don't get everybody's buy-in, then they're not going to do it, or they shouldn't do it. Nope. Because sometimes God will give you something that they don't see, you guys, right? So as fathers, as men, right, sometimes we'll get a different charge, right, from our Creator to go and do. But now it's our position, right, to make sure as leaders we disseminate that information properly so that those that are impacted can understand and see the vision. Why? Because vision has nothing to do with sight, you guys. But they can close their eyes and see it and get on board to understand, okay, this is where we need to go, and this is my part in it, especially if you have a wife or significant other. Right? So as men, as leaders, if you do not get your significant other on board, it's going to be difficult, my brothers. Right? So pull back, spend a little bit more time showing them that you love them, showing them that you're listening to them. Right? Because again, I'll be transparent. That's a big thing in my marriage. My wife said that I wasn't listening to her. So I had to slow down, and I had to get a little bit quiet and not anticipate what she's saying and just absorb and listen to what she said, right? That way I can have all the information and not necessarily make the decision or a decision, but understand exactly what she's saying, you guys. And then the other one is lead. That's huge, right? For those men who made that decision to stand in the gap, not to be in the position where we were, who grew up without a father, and we made a different decision to actually physically be there for our children. I know it's not easy. I know it's tough, but you were meant and designed to lead, you guys. And when it gets tough, make sure you have another brother to plug into, you guys, right? Because sometimes as leaders, you get drained. So who you plugged up to? One of my partners, Eugene Hunter, always used to say, yo, T, like, who you getting your juice from? Like, who you plugged into? If you're not plugged into somebody to get some more juice, your battery's going to get drained, you guys, and you're not going to make it, because this is a marathon, you guys. Life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a long haul, right? So at certain points, you got to get juiced. You got to plug in to, number one, your creator, because your creator will give you the information, right? But he'll also send a man, right, to continuously juice you to make sure you have enough juice to complete the journey that he designed for you to do, to touch all the people that he has assigned to you, you guys. Hey, on this Father's Day, you guys, I commend you for the work that we've done, right? Because as you can see with Juneteenth, we've came a long way. We've come a long way, you guys. But don't get weary in well-doing, because we still have a long way to go, you guys. Well, hey, as you know, I could go all day, but this is my time, you guys. My name is Thomas Taylor III. I'm actually, again, kind of moving this platform to something different. Typically, probably the latter part of June or right after the holiday. I'll send some information out. You guys can register, and then we can have a little bit more dialogue back and forth. I can answer questions, man. I can help those who actually are in a position where they feel like they want to be helped. I'm also creating a program, probably like a 90-day type of coaching program, for those leaders out there who feel that they're kind of stuck in certain areas and they just need a little bit of help, you guys. So again, my name is Thomas Taylor III. You can follow me on Instagram at Thomas Taylor III. That's Taylor Your Dreams, as well as Facebook, Thomas Taylor III. Or if you have questions, you guys, you can email me at tyd@tayloryourdreams.com, you guys. Again, happy Father's Day for all those fathers who made a decision to stand in the gap and to be the father that they never had. Hats off, you guys. Until then, go out there and make it a great day. Love you guys.